This obsidian-tipped arrow was snapped in half. It looks similar to those used by Unuratu's rebels. If they went up against Trinity with these primitive weapons, they never had a chance. Do not leave the city. Those who leave become cursed, forced to wander the jungle, and never find peace. Location found. Hidden. Terrain difficult to... This hard hat is decorated with peacock feathers. When the Lord gave his covenant to Noah, saying never again will he destroy this world, it can be interpreted as he has decided humanity has learned their lesson. But have we? There is also a different interpretation to be made, and that is that he has given the agency of destruction to mankind itself. We are responsible for every living soul, and they are now tarnished and besought. It has been 4,000 years since the world saw purity, and we aim to end that. We will be the architects of the new world. We will pave the street to heaven for all. We will usher an end to this sinful, reprehensible world. Attention, Dr. Dominguez. Camp set up near abandoned oil factory outside of village. Survey of area ongoing. Contact made with villagers. None with any information on lone wolf. Small group splintered off from main camp. Stole 2 weeks' worth of supplies. Suggest eradication of former assets once operation complete. No sign of Croft yet. Reports of a plane crash 10 clicks outside of village. Maybe we got lucky. MB. Villager suggested making sure Abby Ortiz does not become too interested in our activities. Name sent to headquarters. Dossier incoming shortly. Currently researching avenues and contingency plans. Trinity can rot in this jungle. And as for the Pytetian Emperor, not even he can truly understand just what this box is. But I do, and I know it should not be used by just anyone. That would be catastrophic. Only the purest among us should make the decision as to how to wield the power of the silver box. That is why I must hide it. Stone faces weep as Jesus creeps along the dolorous path. Too many died. More will still, and more will still, and more will still. His light leads the way. They have several sites all over South America. Wish I'd found this map sooner. I could have gone directly to Paititi. After action report. Attention, Dr. Dominguez. Search site, Mazaruni River, Guyana. 5.16587-59.468158. Discovered evidence of Maya migration. Upon subsequent investigation, site deemed a dead end. Actions taken. Site flooded by redirecting river. Locals recruited for labor eliminated. All trace of presence scrubbed. Other. Kick up at nearby village. Lethal response necessary. Area isolated. Site flooded. Appears natural. South American rivers rising due to climate change story seeded in media. Search team report and findings. Central and South American Division. Attention, Dr. Dominguez. Mexico. Cozumel, Temple of Shakshel discovered. Site closed and scrubbed. Brazil. Atishi Matari region. Dead end. Site closed and scrubbed. Team moved to Trincheira Bacaja site. Munduruku region. Search inconclusive. Trouble with government. Suggest closing site. Awaiting orders. Trincheira Bacaja region. Progress made with local tribes. Investigation ongoing. Peru. Coaquiacu. Temple discovered. Research ongoing. Attention, Dr. Dominguez. Possible entry point located for temple outside of Coaquiacu. excavation equipment en route. The younger Croft is more active and less cerebral than her father was. Although intelligent, she is less focused on the meaning and history of the artifacts she seeks, and more prone to risk-taking. With no children or family of her own, she is free to pursue her targets, almost to the point of obsession. Although this can make her appear impulsive or unpredictable at times, we believe her drive and the balance of her personality will make her easier to influence, with the promise of greater challenge and more likely to deliver results. Any information she might have that Richard Croft withheld from Trinity would simply be a bonus. We recommend her as a strong target for recruiting. This is a record of a mercenary's assignments while working for Trinity. Mexico, Kenya, Siberia. I had my crosshairs on the younger one too, but Rourke had orders for us to leave her alone. This is the bastard who shot Anna. May. Over a month has passed since our expedition departed from Cuiaba. We have consumed our provisions methodically thus far, and continue to be in high spirits. Father's age shows when we're on foot. A few times now I have caught Raleigh looking over his shoulder and back at us to make sure we're still keeping up. Father always returns a look with a smile and saying he'll soon be the one in the lead. 30th of May. This morning we entered uncharted territory, leaving the sun-bleached bones of Dead Horse Camp behind. It seems the tables have turned on Raleigh, almost quite literally. His bandaged leg has slowed his pace and made him the tail of our party. When Father notices, he slows, turning around to give us both an encouraging smile. His overly eager step betrays his calm demeanor as he rushes past us at the sight of every nearing turn, ridge, or embankment. 6th of June. Father's outward enthusiasm is at an all-time high, though I have doubts. In the middle of the night, I have caught the whites of his eyes reflecting moonlight, his stare vacantly locked to the stars. Were it not for all the stories he has shared of the Amazon in the past, I would mistake his gaze as regretful, even mournful. Perhaps it is simply these insects making their way through our head nets causing him such consternation. 18th of July. I awoke this morning at the sight of my father wringing his handkerchief tightly between his two hands. Wide-eyed and unblinking, he stared in Raleigh's direction. Raleigh had passed. Infection had set into his wounds days ago, and shortly after, fever took hold. Between fits of cold sweats, labored groans of pain, and demented ramblings, Raleigh had somehow been able to insist on forging ahead. Father had tried to reason with him, telling him to turn back, to let us carry the torch, but Raleigh made it clear. Turning our backs on him would have been leaving him there to die. We forged ahead. We were as far away from civilization as we had ever been, and we foolishly continued to trudge forward. So long, old friend. First of August. Tonight, sleep escapes us. The jungle is angry and the moon is uncooperative. The human imagination wanders endlessly in the dark this deep. I can hear the jungle's breath ruffling behind my ears, its low growl shaking the very ground we lay on, its manic energy rustling through the trees above. Rest has become the lead on our search, finding us at the most inopportune time. I have caught Father dozing off mid-step, and his hand barely clutching his walking stick. We run out of food and are sustained almost entirely by gathered berries and rainwater. The both of us are far too unyielding to give up. I fear the very stubbornness that led us to this point may also be that which leads us to our early graves. This seems to be some kind of primitive sculpture of a human. This seems to be some kind of primitive sculpture of a human. This seems to be some... These two gods are the rulers of the Maya underworld, Xibalba, literally the place of fright. Vucub-Caquiche, whose name means seven macaw, was a monstrous bird who is said to carry the false sun in his beak. His subordinate was Hunkame, which means one death. They are both defeated and killed by the hero twins after challenging them to various sports and games in which both sides cheated. Vucub-Caquiche lost his game of darts when the hero twins used blowpipes. The Maya goddess Ixchel, like moon goddesses in many other cultures, was also a mother deity associated with pregnancy and childbirth. The natural phenomena over which she presided included waterfalls, rainstorms, and rainbows. She was also the goddess of all crafts, such as watercolor painting and weaving, which she invented. But she wasn't exclusively nurturing. Her hair consisted of living serpents. She wore a skirt made of bones, and she had a legendary temper. Shak was a very important god to the Maya. He taught them farming secrets and oversaw growing and the harvest. Generally, he was associated with all forms of fertility. He was also in charge of wind, lightning, and rain, which was caused by his tears. He was in charge of preserving springs, wells, streams, cenotes, and other sources of water. Like the aspects over which he presided, he was considered benevolent and caring, but unpredictable. Physically, Shak was depicted as a reptile with hair tangled in unruly knots, and his colors were white, red, yellow, and black, representing north, east, south, and west. A depiction of Apuk, god of death and ruler of Mitnau, the ninth and most horrible level of the Maya version of hell. One thing Apuk enjoyed doing was dressing in putrefying flesh and visiting the surface to prey upon the living. According to legend, the only way to save yourself from him was to scream and yell like you were in unbearable agony. He'd assume you were already being tortured by one of his minions and leave you alone. How appropriate that his harbinger demon was a screech owl named Muon. Itzamna is the son of the Maya creator god Hunabku. He was the god of education, responsible for inventing writing and books. This made him an essential figure in the development of Maya culture. He was also god of agriculture and created farming. He even presided over doctors, healing people with the help of his red-hot hand. Usually, Itzamna took on a reptilian aspect, but he was also known as Kinichahal, a fire macaw, who is the patron of the number 4 and controlled drought and disease. This Maya god is very dark brown, almost black, with black-rimmed eyes and facial features that seem to be melting at their extremities. This can only be Ixchua. He's the patron god of the cacao bean, which accounts for his coloring. Also, because ancient Mesoamericans used those beans as currency, Ixchua became by extension a god of merchants and of trade. Interestingly, when he first appeared in the lore, he was a god of conflict. Suicide was not considered forbidden by the Maya. In fact, it was considered an honorable alternative to living. Because of this, by committing suicide, you could bypass the underworld and go straight to paradise, where other noble deaths included the sacrificed, those who died in battle or childbirth, and those who died playing ball. The suicide's escort on the journey to paradise would be this goddess, Ishtab, also called Rope Woman. She was the goddess of suicides, especially those who hanged themselves and manifested as a rotting corpse hanging from a noose. The collection of reeds bundled together with rope and stone is used as a calendar, usually representing a 52-year cycle. This is a formidable weapon. Heavy wood lined with sharp obsidian teeth, it could easily stop an unarmored enemy. And if the bloodstains are any indication, it has. This garishly decorated fire drill appears to be a part of the new fire ceremony, an Aztec celebration of the new year. It consists of 5 days of fasting, bloodletting, and sacrifice. The fire drill is meant to be placed upon the chest of the freshly sacrificed. It sparks, feeding a large bonfire that ignites the flames of every nearby temple. This one, however, doesn't appear to have been used, as the notches are clear of blood. An Aztec-influenced mask, decorated with items native to the area around Paititi. This elaborate pipe is sculpted to resemble Xicoatl, an Aztec serpent spirit painted in green, blue, and yellow. Its sides are decorated with semi-precious stones. The inclusion of jade indicates at least a measure of Maya influence. The bowl still reeks of burnt roots and smoke, not an entirely unpleasant aroma. This pendant is decorated in the Incan tradition, but the effigy clearly appears to be an Aztec warrior. That shouldn't be possible. This could be an effigy of the peasant savior. It might have been stolen by the cult of Kukulkan to keep the Paititians from worshipping it. Or maybe it was given to them as payment for protection. As ordered, we have made our way to Khan in search of the suspected traitor Andreas Lopez, accompanied by a squadron of native warriors. We'd found them along the shores of the Gulf after they had recently escaped a slave ship that was caught in a storm. The initial encounter was tense, but soon we came to an accord. The warriors agreed to accompany us through the jungle, on the condition we made a detour to several other outposts to enlist more of their people, and that we would keep them from being enslaved. We found that altogether satisfactory, and soon set off. Alfonso Ricci, Order of Trinity. Murder. Death. Stealing another's crops. Death. Stealing another's skins. Death. Idleness. Head shaved. Fighting. Restitution to injured party. Public drunkenness. Stoning. Exceptions. During a festival or over 70 years old. By order of the cult of Kukulkan. Kukulkan says they won't fear us if we are not capable warriors. And to become capable, we must complete the tests their people have made. These Paititians know nothing of war. Their blades and spear tips have dulled. I will complete their rituals, and I will show them the true might of those who follow Kukulkan. Kukulkan bid me to join the ranks of the priesthood. The pantheon of Paititians is a patchwork of several cultures. I'll need to study their rituals, their beliefs, and learn how we can use their own gods against them. The ones from across the water are devious and intelligent. I do not doubt the city will soon be united under the control of Kukulkan. When I first laid eyes on Angel de la Cruz, I knew I met a man of worth. When he spoke, my heart shook. Its tremors vibrated for days after his first sermon. That evening, God himself told me to set out to prove I was the chosen one. I left the next morning, seeking to prove my worth. In preparation for the ultimate test, I have begun to explore the crypts and tombs found near the mission. They are challenging and dangerous, and I am slowly improving. My reflexes are quicker. I'm getting stronger, and I dare say my eyesight in the dark is improving. I know there are others trying to prove their worth to Brother de la Cruz, but they will not best me. Didn't think these places would be trapped. Caught a spear through the abdomen. Hurts to breathe. Pray for me. I have returned from my training, However, Brother de la Cruz has disappeared. The Sisters of the Mission have no idea where he went. No matter. I will wait for him to return. My heart is pure. My head is clear. I am ready for the trials, and I will prove to him I am the chosen one. I was not worthy. Forgive me for my hubris. I know now that I am not the chosen one. Now I fear I have endangered the lives of Brother de la Cruz and the Sisters of the Mission. They do not know that the hollow earth surrounding the mission is home to demons. Cruel, hissing creatures with twisted claws and sick, yellowed eyes. I came to this place to purge them from the world, in the name of Angel de la Cruz, to win his favor and earn my seat at his side. But I have failed. I could not contain this evil, and now it is out, and all warning of it will die down here with me. I am Chirilo Serrano, and these are likely the last words I write. Andreas Lopez, or Angel de la Cruz as he has called himself these last years, has finally and fully gone insane. His demands have grown, becoming more grueling and grotesque as we labor to build his crypt. The construction is almost complete. I know I will die when it is done, Lopez, in a brief moment of clarity, told me himself. Damn that box. Damn what it has done to the man I once, and sadly still, admire. An Alux, plural Alashab, is akin to the Maya version of a gnome or leprechaun. They're about as high as an adult's knee and wear traditional Maya clothing. They are created whenever a farmer builds a little house on his property for them, after which they'll help the corn grow for a period of 7 years, making it rain and chasing off predators. They're usually invisible, and in spite of their benefit to the land, they like to play tricks on or frighten humans. Don't call one by name, or you'll summon it from its home, and it won't be happy with you. Balam is the Maya word for jaguar. The Maya idolized jaguars for their majestic beauty and dangerous grace. Villagers would have 4 akantuns, idols which they placed at each corner of the village. At night, 5 Balams, spirit jaguar guardians, would come to the village. 1 Balam would station itself at each corner, next to an akantun, while the 5th and smallest Balam would coordinate their protection efforts against evil demons and spirits. Hunbats and Hunchoan were twin brothers, older half-siblings of the more celebrated Maya hero twins. Jealous of their brothers, the monkey twins would always cheat during football matches and ruin them with their aggressive tactics. In retaliation, the hero twins lured them up a tree which never stopped growing, preventing Hunbats and Hunchoan from getting down. The hero twins convinced them that they could use their belts to climb down, but this turned out to be another trick, and the belts became tails, turning the elder twins into monkeys. The divine canoe, which carries Maya souls through the underworld and into the sky, is directed by 2 gods. Old Stingray Paddler sits in the back of the canoe and handles the duties during the day, while Old Jaguar Paddler sits in the front and takes care of the night shift. These 2 gods symbolize not only light and darkness, day and night, but also the interdependence of all equal and opposite forces. These are 2 legendary trees which complement one another. The Chechen tree secretes a substance which is poisonous upon contact, and the nectar of the Chaka tree can neutralize that poison before it results in serious burns. The fascinating thing about these trees is that they always grow very near to each other. According to legend, 2 brothers, warrior princes, fought a battle to the death over the love of a woman and died in each other's arms. They begged the gods for forgiveness, and it was granted. Kinich, the kind one, was reborn as the benevolent Chaka tree, while Tizik, the hate-filled one, was reborn as the poisonous Chechen tree. Votan is an ancient Maya god of war and death. So old, he is rumored to have been old even before the beginning of time itself. He is usually depicted as having no teeth and being colored entirely black. Little is known about him, except that he likes to smoke pungent cigars. Interestingly, he is also the god who invented drumming. The Maya Tree of Life, also known as Yashe, plants its roots in the underworld and then passes through our world as its branches extend all the way into paradise. Lurking somewhere inside the World Tree is Itsamye, a bird god who is said to know all the secrets of the 3 planes of existence through which the World Tree grows. Those charged with crimes are brought here, and they battle under the watchful gaze of the gods, the only infallible judges. Those proven innocent may leave, but the guilty are killed and thrown to Xibalba. When storms crash and rivers swell, direct the waters to quench the thirst of the gods who toil above and below. Here, under the watchful eye of one of the Lords of Death, lies the gate to Xibalba, where all must travel when transitioning from this life to the next. A city is only as strong as its crops and people. From here, we control the water, never having to rely on the Fickley rains again. Only the worthy may call upon Kinichahal. Use his light to chase the shadows from your hearts and the city itself. From its roots in the underworld, sheltering bats, it grows straight and true. Its trunk holds the realm of men fast, and its branches spread its white leaves across the night sky. Come, those who imagine themselves brave and bold. See if you can survive the trials awaiting within. Those who do will have earned their status as warriors. When the caverns begin to howl, a warrior must descend to ease the torment. If one cannot be sacrificed, then all will die. Only the worthy may call upon Kinichahal. Use his light to chase the shadows from your hearts and the city itself. From its roots in the underworld, sheltering bats, it grows straight and true. Its trunk holds the realm of men fast, and its branches spread its white leaves across the night sky. When the caverns begin to howl, may Ergu be the one to chart the path from this life to the next, so that we may all travel safely. May Remax be the first voice we hear in the afterlife, and may her stories comfort us. May Waiter's desire for power be sated by the time we follow him to the afterlife. May Chuki have woven us each a tunic of the finest wool by the time we reach the afterlife. May Quispe have acquired a surplus of foods, supplies, and comforts by the time we meet him in the afterlife. May Olanta find the clays and metals of the afterlife suitable to her craft. May the rivers of the afterlife be calm, and Utaranku's boat sturdy to ferry us across them. May Huascar's knowledge of the 2 afterlives be sufficient to guide us, if we arrive in either. Abby's grandmother wanted her to have this, but why? Pilar didn't seem to know. It has to have something to do with the riddle she wrote on the back. I have hidden the truth, as Abigail will find, but to uncover it, she must take a trip back in time. Abby's grandmother, Mariana, used lemon juice as invisible ink to hide 3 small X's, like a classic treasure map. There. I thought it was a small blemish when I first looked at it, but in this light, it looks like a Maya hieroglyph. It means truth. There's a 3-stepped edge on one side that looks to have been carved by hand. Hand carved on one side. I thought the pieces looked familiar. It's not until I put them all together that I can see it. The Chicana. The Inca cross. There are many interpretations of the cross, debated even amongst the Inca themselves, but it's an extremely important symbol nonetheless. Per seismic imaging results, 25th of November, 1983. Massive oil fields beneath the village. I have conducted a physical examination of area and can confirm this to be the case. Recommend full drill operation. Porvenir will be back in the black. Village expendable. Recommend stage 01 outbreak if buyout ineffectual. We cannot allow the... Strange. The report cuts off mid-sentence. My sweet Abigail, it is time you learned the truth about your past and your responsibility for the future. You are a guardian, Abigail, as I was, as my mother was before me and hers before her, and so on and so on. All the way back to the time of Queen Aberrane, the mother of multitudes. Centuries ago, she led my people from the dry death of the great drought in Guatemala to the safety of this valley. On her deathbed, she chose a guardian from her line, and the responsibilities of mother were passed on. Eventually, that gift was given to me. Now, with my death, my sweet Abigail, I pass on the responsibility of guardian to you. You already know what to do. You've been doing it all your life. You are the mother of multitudes now. Keep our story well. It shows a great journey south, from Mexico to Peru. Thousands of people following their queen, escaping mass drought. Whoever was wearing this either had a splitting headache or they didn't leave at all. Wait, there's dried blood here. Here lies the missing man from Porvenir, killed in self-defense by Mariana Ortiz. You will not find a body, but this note instead. When I found him out, he attacked me, so I hit him on the head. It was his greed, not me, which made him dead. I'm sorry for his family that will never know his fate. If this note is discovered before I'm dead, you know where to find me. This place, it's an ancient forge. What were they crafting here?
darkness erase the world we have known. Let the shadow pass, and the light shine again on the world of our creation.
The power of Kukulkan.
Destroy any who would destroy your power and potential. Kukulkan, protect us, guide us, help us shape and create, empower and elevate.
Those icons. I have to release the energy trapped inside them.
Let the shadow back, and the light shine again where let the sun shines. The darkness erase the world we have known. Find her! She must not interfere!
Kukulkan sa asil kunting pagati. Yan ikashti.
Hey, we take control of our destiny!
Totem, kubeital, itzik balon.
Remember what's at stake. We can't afford to fail.
Startatan bashkunu chulle kening kashtech. Akatelesh. Talapil. Janimesh salipil.
This is not what Muratu wanted.
Bata baesh, lakesh. Kosh kach ilik wala ilitijantelo.
Destroy and destroy your power and potential. Kukulkan, protect us, guide us, help us shape and create, empower and elevate.
Kill Topek magic. Sababa kila. Peyo peluche consiglio Kukulkan.
No business here. Who are you to take Muratu's place?
Baba peyo peluche consiglio Kukulkan.
Get lost in
Sa
this.
asil kunting
Destructive
pagati.
child.
Ilikashti.
The blood of my Titi is on your
Nach
name.
kum sigbaesh. Yan ikashti kon. Totem, kubeital, itzik balon.
stop me. Remaking the world.
Today, we take control of our destiny! Shoot a god! I thought you were smart. Match a god! I have allowed you to live. No more. Shoot a god! It is mine to protect, not yours!
want, but Kukulkan will only make me stronger.
I'm sorry.
Protect Paititi. Please. Please, Sarah.
I will.
To claim her treasure, the adventurer, Lara Croft, must outwit the king.
Outwit the king? I think the king might have something to say about that.
My loves, will you hold still for a second?
Yes, my white queen. One.
Can I see?
Of course. There's you, me, and your dad.
Where are we?
Hawaii.
With this key and the silver box, we can remake the world. Without weakness, rooting.
If you had that power, what would you do?
My brave girl, who is not expecting a jaguar attack.
Where shall we go next for our real adventure? I hear the Antarctic is lovely this time of year.
Dad.
Oh no, well then perhaps the salt flats of Utah.
Oh, Richard.
I know where we're going.
You do?
Hawaii.
Oh yes, yes, that could be really nice. Well, in that case.
Goodbye, Mum. Goodbye, Dad.
No. You're my research assistant.
Oh yes, you're quite right. I'm sorry, Mom.
I request that you bring me to the museum.
Well, I think that can be arranged by your new schedule.
When the catastrophes come, the god Kukulkan must be sacrificed to power the sun. Otherwise, the world dies.
Sacrifice a god?
The sacrifice is my duty. But if my training fails me, the Crimson Fire will guide me and hold me to my promise.
I like this world. It's It's not perfect. But everything I love now is in it.
After today, the eclipse will no longer represent us. We keep the sun, but you remove the shadow.
Protect Paititi. Please. Please, Lara.
I will.
Unuratu, my mother, a warrior, a rebel, a queen. She will be venerated for generations. I miss you. Now, we will heed her spirit to reunite Paititi.
Thank you.
Some head back to Kwakiaku tomorrow.
Really? Missing the jungle? Off in search of the elusive fish tree?
Abby and I are headed to the coast for a few days.
I'm glad.
What about you?
I think I'll stay here for a while longer.
And restore a few more artifacts?
Don't know.
So what will you do?
I don't know. Etzli will help me figure it out. He'll let me know what Paititi needs to rebuild.
Wow.
I'm done searching. I want to be around the living.
All right.
Don't you have to pack or something?
Now you are stuck with me till tomorrow.
You're welcome to stay as long as you wish, Lara. Safe travels, Jonah. Once Paititi is restored, perhaps I can join you and learn more about the world beyond Paititi.
Anytime. You just say the word. You too, Uchu?
If he wants to.
So, Jonah, Lara tells me you have a girlfriend. We will come to the wedding.
Whoa.
Etzli, why don't you show me the plans for the new town?
Yes.
I had it all wrong. I thought that taking control of my life meant venturing out to do something extraordinary. I thought I had to fix everything. But the mysteries of the world are to cherish more than to solve. I'm just one of their many protectors. I'm not sure what the future has in store, Jonah, but whatever adventure's on the horizon, I can't wait to meet it. I'll try not to take myself too seriously.
Tea, Miss Croft.
Lovely. For now, it just feels good to be home.